This is Jessica Willis. She is our Lost Coast featured artist for the current exhibit at the Lost Coast Inn, or Inn of the Lost Coast. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to show my art in this beautiful gallery right next to the ocean. Actually, it's interesting that I'm brought to Shelter Cove now through my work. I live near here because 5 years ago, the first time I came to Shelter Cove was for the plein air paint out with my 80-year-old painting mentor, Howard Luke Lucas, who's a watercolor plein air artist. About 5 years ago, I moved from Ohio to California for my partner's work. He is usually a fish biologist, and Howard Luke Lucas swooped me up under his wing as my art mentor and taught me how to paint on location in Shasta County. Now I live out here in Edwardsburg, and I've been painting Shelter Cove, so I'm really excited for the new subject matter being the ocean. And I've kind of used plein air painting, and I've learned a lot about shadows and texture and lighting by painting out in nature. And now I've kind of created my own style from it that's very bright and energetic and colorful. Basically, anytime I have the chance, I grab a canvas and my paints and I go out in nature, immersing myself, and I walk around until I find the right spot, and I'll sit there and I'll paint. And it's really fun and super relaxing for me, which is great because I also farm, so sometimes it's really nice to just zone out and paint. So yeah, these pieces, this is down by the tide pools when you walk down the stairs by the lighthouse in Shelter Cove, and there's all these cool tide pools. And I really like to sometimes use my camera or panorama to squeeze the perspective. So I took a panorama looking out into the ocean, and then I came up with this composition. I also really like to paint at Little Black Sands Beach. I've painted it about 10 times now, and every time the lighting's different, the color of the water's different. So this one in particular is more abstracted, and I call this Funky Cove. So that's one version of Little Black Sands Beach. Here's another one on a more calm day with the fog that's rolled in. I love how dramatic Shelter Cove is for the fog and the weather and how it makes everything so different all the time. This is another take on Little Black Sands Beach. This was more in the spring when the California poppies come out. And I really love when I paint the same location, the foreground flowers change all year, so the color and the composition change. A similar composition this is from Mexico during my winter travels and scuba diving. This is the Tulum ruins. So I'm newly into scuba diving, and I'm starting to want to capture what the coral and the fish look like under the water. So I would say right now I'm mainly painting local landscapes, underwater landscapes, and plants. More specifically, cannabis flowers, because I work in the cannabis industry. Right here, these are just some samples of paintings that I'll whip up on a Sunday when I have off from work. I'll come to the Cove and post up somewhere and just start a small little composition. And then I'll take it home and work on it when I can. And I like layering acrylics in a translucent way to get this really